Graphing y equals f of absolute value of x. We do know absolute value of x equals x when x greater than or equal to 0, negative x when x less than 0. F of absolute value of x equals f of x when x greater than or equal to 0, f of negative x when x less than 0. X greater than or equal to 0 means on the right side of y-axis, graph will stay the same. Also, we know absolute value of negative x equals absolute value of x. So, f of absolute value of negative x equals f of absolute value of x, which means f of absolute value of x is an even function. Graph will be symmetric about y-axis. In other words, f of absolute value of x reflects the graph to the right of the y-axis in the y-axis. Ignore the left-hand side part of the graph. So the graph on the right side of y-axis stay the same. Then reflected about y-axis. So the graph in black is y equals f of absolute value of x. For second graph, on the right side of y-axis stay, then reflect the graph on the right side of y-axis about y-axis. The graph in black is y equals f of absolute value of x. Y equals absolute value of f of x. Absolute value of f of x equals itself when f of x greater than or equal to 0 equals opposite of f of x when f of x less than 0. F of x greater than or equal to 0 means the graph above x-axis. So any graph above x-axis will stay the same. The graph below x-axis will reflect across x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1, 2, 3 here. Connect. Second graph. The graph above x-axis stay the same. The graph below x-axis will reflect across x-axis. It's y equals absolute value of f of x. Y equals 1 over f of x. Y coordinate will be changed into its reciprocal. This rule will be applied to all points on the original graph, including local minimum, local maximum, x-intercept, y-intercept, and asymptote lines. Points whose y coordinate is a positive or negative 1 will stay the same. The x-intercept will be changed into vertical asymptote line. Vertical asymptote line will be changed into x-intercept. F of x approaches infinity will be changed into the horizontal asymptote line, y equals 0. First of all, find those points whose y-coordinate is positive or negative 1. All these 4 points will be on the new graph. X-intercept will be changed into vertical asymptote line. Since the end behavior of this graph is positive infinity, we will get y equals 0 as a horizontal asymptote line. Local minimum point 1, -4 will be changed into 1, -1 over 4. -1 over 4 is negative 0.25. It will be here. The intercept 0, -3 will be changed into 0, -1 over 3. This is negative 0.33. Then we can sketch the graph from left to the right. Then for the middle graph, do not touch the vertical asymptote line. This will be the graph for y equals 1 over f of x. For second graph, vertical asymptote line. Then special point. Then we can sketch the graph. Graph in green is y equals 1 over f of x. Y equals f of x squared. X coordinates stay the same. Y coordinates will be squared, applied to all points on the original graph, including local maximum, minimum, x-intercept, y-intercept, and all asymptote lines. Special points will be x1 and x0 stay the same. For the horizontal asymptote line y equals c will be y equals c squared. No effect on vertical asymptote line. First of all, we need to find the points which will stay the same. X-intercept, the points whose y-coordinate is 1. So we find 4 points stay the same. For local maximum, 0, 2 will be 0, 4. For y equals -1, horizontal asymptote line will be y equals -1 squared equals 1. This is a horizontal asymptote line for new function. We do know 2 squared equals 4. 0.2 squared equals 0.04, which means 2 squared greater than 2, and 0.2 squared less than 0.2, which means y squared greater than y, when y greater than 1, y squared less than y, when y greater than 0 less than 1. What's the meaning for y squared less than y? Which means the new graph is below the original graph. When we draw the graph between these 2 points, you have to draw like this, because their y-coordinate is between 0 and 1. This part of a graph or square will be increase less slowly. When y greater than 1, the graph will be above the original graph. So this is y equals f of x squared. Let's look at the second graph. First of all, we need to find all x-axis and the points whose y-coordinate is 1. So we got these 5 points will stay the same. 1, 2 will be changed into 1, 4. -1, -2 will be changed into -1, 4. -1 will be 1. 1. Y greater than 0, less than 1. New graph is below original graph. This is y equals f of x squared.